Hey everybody, Alex from Android Central here with a very quick look at the HTC ChaCha. This is the first of HTC's Facebook phones. Just come out in Europe, and the US is going to be launching soon as the status. So taking a look around the front, we've got a 2.6 inch screen on here, slightly different form factor to what we're used to dealing with. We've got a full QWERTY keyboard on the front, slight chin to the device. As you can see, it's tilted slightly where the keyboard is. 4 capacitive buttons down under the screen, and two things we haven't seen for a while, a call button and a cancel button. Front facing camera at the top, and if we head around the back, we've got a main 5 megapixel camera with LED flash. So if we snap the back cover off here, we can see where the battery lives. There's also a SIM card slot and SD card port behind it, both spring loaded. So now we're going to take a look at the software, and as you can see, we've got the new Sense lock screen on here, which is awesome. Really like that. And if you haven't seen this before, basically all you do is pull this metal ring up to unlock the phone, or drag one of these icons down to start the application that you want right up. Anyway, now we're unlocked, we can take a look at the specialized version of Sense that's on this phone. As usual, 7 home screens, and you can customize them with the usual Sense widgets. We've got the trademark giant clock there. Leap features made it into this phone as well, which is cool. So despite the few obvious differences, this is still definitely a Sense phone. So before we do anything else, we're just going to check what we're actually running here, and yep, we're on Android 2.3.3 Gingerbread, and we're running Sense 2.1 for Messenger, so not the latest version of Sense, but then you wouldn't expect it on a phone like this. Hardware wise, we've got an 800 MHz CPU in here, half a gig of RAM and half a gig of internal storage. So not slow by any means, but certainly nothing cutting edge in here in terms of hardware. That said, for the type of device that this is, the specs are more than sufficient. So now we're going to dive into the app drawer and take a look at some preloaded apps. Mostly it's your standard Sense stuff on here, although some of them do look a little bit different because of the ChaCha's form factor. As you'd expect, the official Android Facebook app comes preloaded on here, and there's also a standalone app for Facebook Chat, which is quite nice. And we've downloaded a few of our own apps onto here as well, as you can see. That's why I've got Google Plus on here. Obviously that's not something that you'll find on the ChaCha out of the box. So next, let's take a look in the Personalization menu, and just like most Sense features on the ChaCha, it looks a little different to most of the Sense phones, but works just the same. So you've got lock screen options, and just like the Sensation or any other phone that has this lock screen setup, you can tap one of these icons and easily replace the shortcut with a link to anything you have on the phone, which is nice. Let's take a look at some home screen widgets, and mostly this is standard Sense widgets downscaled to fit on the ChaCha screen more easily. There are a few slightly different ones in there, so there are some Facebook based ones, variation of the standard clock widget with some Facebook status updates underneath it. There's also a really useful Facebook Chat widget which interfaces with the Facebook Chat app on the phone and shows you who's online and what they're doing. So next we're going to do a bit of a browser test and see how that works on here. As you can see, it's mostly the standard Sense browser, just looking a little bit different, a little bit smaller. So let's load the Android Central mobile site, and yep, nice and fast, as you'd expect, not the most demanding site in the world. So let's take things up a notch and load the main site. So there we go, starting to load. Pinching to zoom, scrolling down is pretty fast on here. I'd say the browser performance is about the level of the Nexus 1 or the HTC Desire, so not massively speedy, but still more than adequately fast to browse desktop pages. One thing to be aware of though is that in the browser, like all the preloaded Sense apps, you're locked in landscape orientation, so you can't flip to portrait when you're browsing. There's an option to enable portrait mode in market apps, but in the stock browser at least, there's no way to switch to portrait. You're locked in landscape at all times. Anyway, one last feature we're going to demonstrate is the Facebook button. So this is located directly below the keyboard, and you can press it at any time to post whatever you're looking at to your Facebook page. So as you can see, if we press the Facebook button when we've got Google in the browser, we've got a little bit of a short wait, but after a while we can post the link to our page, and there's also this little text box down here to add a description if we want to do that. And once again, back at the home screen, if we press the Facebook button while we're here, we get a similar pop-up, and we can just type whatever we want and post it as a regular wall update. Let's just close that down for a moment though, and we'll take a look at how we can use the gallery app and the Facebook button to upload things from the gallery on the phone straight to Facebook. So if we tap the icon, and we've already got a picture loaded here, but let's just close that down. And once we've done that, we can tap the Facebook button. And there we've got the upload box. You can give it a description, you can add it to an album, or choose who you want to have access to it. And that's all just by pressing one button, so if you're a big social networking person, this could be a really great way to add things to Facebook quickly and easily. So that's about it for our quick look at the HTC ChaCha. Thanks for watching, and we'll have a full review of this phone written up in the next few days.